Welcome to Young Men in Vision.
My name is Quaylon Thornton. I am an aspiring scholar at SUNY Canton University. I am currently in the legal studies program, and I am originally from Brooklyn, New York.
Economics, the American dream. Some black males weigh the options on a triple beam. Some work a 9 to 5 just to shuck it and job. Slave up for slave wages just to stay alive. Core economics, the American dream. Some black males weigh the options on a triple beam. Some work a 9 to 5 just to shuck it and job. Slave up for slave wages just to stay alive. Core economics, the American dream. Some black males weigh the options on a triple beam. Some work a 9 to 5 just to shuck it and job. Slaving for slave wages just to stay alive. The soul of a slave who's tired, wired with the knowledge and the history, singing the struggle of his people. Who the fuck would wanna work after what his ancestors gave to? I just wanna do what it do to make my dreams come true. Don't get in my way or your ass is through. With the illusions of this world, all that shit ain't true. My main disposition is with you. Why we don't love one another, cause we hate ourselves. The powers that be won't let us free ourselves. We resort to banging, slinging those drugs on the shelf. Poor educational system, lack of esteem. Poor economics, so we got our own street team. You say be a man, how the hell I can?
Previously on Young Men of Vision.
You gotta demand it. So I believe in money and education, but it's 3 things you need. You need money, education, and you need power to say enough is enough.
And now,
Yo, there's hope. As long as we keep doing this, organizing, meeting, having dialogue, we're going home to our wives, our girlfriends, our kids, and teaching them. There's hope. You know what I'm saying? It's when there's none of this dialogue going on.
That's when it's
That's when it's like, bomb.
Let me say one thing, brother. I have a daughter I have one who's 25, one who's 14. And my concern is I want you guys, the young black men, to be able to marry my daughter and her to be proud of her. I don't want her to marry her, you know what?
Exactly.
I want her to marry a young black man who I can feel proud of as a son-in-law. And that's why I'm always on you guys. Do this, go to school, get education, respect yourself, respect the community, respect your parents, because they fear us. They try to keep us down, but somehow we keep coming back. We keep coming back, man.
A lot of our grown men are too busy for these youngsters. So that's what we gotta do, man.
Absolutely, and that's one of the reasons when you look at, and that's why I hate, you know, when us, you know, when we say our youngins are lost or our youth are lost, we failed them, right? We failed them. It ain't their fault because they don't have the guidance, and that's one of the reasons why I'm active in the community, because I'm not gonna be, you know, I'm not gonna be one of the people that you know made it out the neighborhood and then now I'm watching from afar saying, damn, yo, these kids are lost. No, I'm gonna show them that you don't have to sell drugs. You don't have to be an athlete in order to be successful. You could do it the right way. The slow grind is the best grind. You know what I'm saying? Because there's more longevity in it. But we're failing them. So we're the ones that are saying that we're feeling, you know, that the kids are lost. But whose responsibility is it, right? Whose responsibility is it to show them the right way? Because they're running around, you know, thinking that they're adults. Like I could talk when I was 17, I thought I was grown already at 17, right? Because all my elders were locked up, right? We know what the drug trade did to our community. So when I was 17, all my elders was locked up. There wasn't no OGs to smack me upside the head and say, yo, go to school. Right? So I had to learn this by myself, but now we got to take back our community.
It takes a village to raise a child.
That's right.
And we've abandoned that ideology or that concept.
And they upset with y'all, I'm telling you. They upset.
But also, let me say, it's a lot of different factors involved here with our youth. You know, single parent homes. You know, the fathers are either dead or in jail. I still haven't gotten an answer as far as what are these young men going to do to avoid that situation. And I need to know some other stuff too. What else can we do to change just the climate, just the attitude of maybe the world at large or society at large, that when a black man steps on an elevator, he can be dressed like this. You know, he can be dressed in business attire and everybody's clutching their handbags and looking over their shoulders.
Don't use the word my nigga in front of white people. Stop doing it. It starts with you guys.
Yeah, I'm a victim.
Stop doing it. And you know, if we get mad at each other, we gotta stop showing this wild aggression towards each other.
But you know what it is?
Right now, leave you saying, your white people, they trying to learn about us.
Yes.
They're always. It's survival.
I
think it's a survival
BET,
thing.
and he was describing it as y'all was watching Bet, and I didn't know what he was talking about.
BET,
but he calling it Bet, and I'm like, what show is he watching? He trying to understand us.
Yeah.
And he trying to look at the sisters. Yo, that sister, I'm like, yo, sisters don't act like that.
Right, but I think that's the biggest issue. A bigger issue
media.
is that
It isn't the media. It's up to us.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but I'm saying if you look at New York City,
I'm not a director. One thing, right? It's a director right now. He did Todd, whatever his name is. He did Sopranos and he got this new shit out called whatever. But he's always asking me about us. He said he feels like he don't know what to do when his wife is walking from the train station and see us.
Right.
So like you said, they want to know more about us, but where they're getting it from is through the film.
They're not only getting it through the film though. See, that's the thing. We are real life.
Right.
That's no. We are real life. They can understand. There's a little difference between the TV, but they watch. Yo, fam. World Star. When you see black people get into interactions on the train, they're like this. They're like this.
What I was gonna say though too.
Let me just finish this out real quick. Yep. The media can produce anything about, but it's us to give the real behavior. So, yo, I'm gonna be my man. Yo, you know what? You got it.
Yep.
I'm out. Because that little thing plants a seed. Yo, a man told me, he said, yo, when you see little black kids, nigga, man, you gotta pull me home. Come here.
Yeah.
He told you. Because we don't do it. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't done that in
I do it all
10
the
years.
time, so I gotta say it's the media.
But because you don't know, if you say something to the wrong young kid,
you
might have to hit that young kid.
You heard what he just said? And that's what's messed up now.
I'm
Man.
not touching.
No. This was messed up. When I was growing up, I used to get beaten 3 times before my mom got home. My neighbors would bust my ass. Well, these kids think that y'all scared of them sometimes. I'm telling you.
A lot of times, fam, hold up.
And these are the toughest. If you ask them for the toughest kids, they gun toe and they know all the
And what do they do?
and everybody from Brownsville, but when we got in there, we stripped one of them.
We stripped them. Stripped them. Two.
Grab three of us, grab him, throw him up on the, because he was like, one of the guys tried to leave and he's like, oh, I'm leaving too, but his pants was down here. And we like, yo, come here. And he started playing, we just grabbed his pants, pull off the stuff, yo, get up there.
At the end of the
Sit
program,
down.
it was like this.
You know, and then we actually went and listen, man.
Because they see us as bad. I tell them all the time, I don't take advantage of you. But I'm not going to let you run around and go around.
And we give us a sign name.
Panel of the young men. Chante, you getting this? All right. I want you guys to remember just one phrase. Code switch. You have any idea what that means?
Code
switch. C-O-D-E switch. You know what that means, right?
I mean, I know. I think I have a feeling.
Explain.
Okay. I'm going to try to explain it in as layman of terms as possible. That means that when you're in the train, when you with the homies in the park, you could, yo, my nigga, yo, my dude, yo, that B, yo, that MF. When you get on that train, you get in that classroom, you get in that boardroom, that's C student 6. You know, yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, you know, no sir. Right. Know when it's time to be professional and when it's time to be casual. And that will help out also. Because I do agree with the brother over here when he explained it how they watching that when you on the train. And I've seen them shrug and, wow, dude, can you believe that? And I've even heard some of the conversations afterwards. I can't believe they, now they're describing us like we're things, like we're, animals or pets or something. I can't believe the blacks talk like that, and stuff like that. And this is real, and the change has to start somewhere inside of there. It's a large paradigm, but we have to begin to change something. So
I can't believe you good.
As a solution, in my own opinion, I feel as if we should never forget Trayvon. And I say that because we forgot Emmett Till up until another situation happened. Sean Bell. We forgot Sean Bell up until now, Trayvon. We should not forget this young man, nor the brothers before him.
Oh, because I have to have a name that's very, very important that sparked a lot of this. And I don't know if you guys were around then. Yusef Hawkins. That Howard Beach.
And as you said, Yusef Hawkins also added to that list. We shouldn't forget these brothers. We should move forward now. It shouldn't have only took one for us to move forward, which was Emmett Till alone. And we should move forward now to now changing the laws in which may not fit the land, I'd say, or even for us, that works in our favor. We need to also educate ourselves as well. Speaking on our panel, ourselves as young men, educate ourselves and continue to educate ourselves, whether it be through means of a higher institution education, that's college, or even by all means entrepreneur or being self-educated. That's fine too. Just educate ourselves and be more open to thriving into this society. That's what we have to do. That's my conclusion as to how do we stop another Trayvon Martin from occurring. And we don't have to change our attire. We can be more aware of where we are in our attire. And if I was to get approached by a police officer, I would kindly take my hood, take it off, and speak to him. I wouldn't be aggressive or feel as if I have to counteract him. I would just kindly approach. I'm losing my word. I'll kindly react to actions in which he was giving me, which would more than likely to be surveillance. Or what are you doing, X, Y, Z? And I would answer his questions and be on my way. So that's just be more educated and be less so aggressive as to how we're being approached.
And I agree. Let me just add one more thing. Education is the key. And just remember that your rights as a citizen are the same as anyone who approaches you. So let's say the same way they do. We don't have to take the Doug approach to it. See, I don't know all the intimate details of exactly what happened with Trayvon. If he had an opportunity to call 911, if he challenged the gentleman, I could imagine that he did. I would have if someone following me out here. What the hell are you doing?
You don't know.
But maybe now 2020 being hindsight, knowing what I know now as an adult, that happened to me. I'm picking up my cell phone. I'm getting this plate number. I'm calling 911. Maybe 17 or 18. I'm gonna buckle down. I'm gonna knock you up. You understand? But that doesn't work all the time. You see, it didn't work in this particular situation. So that's just something to be mindful of. Just remember that you have the same rights.
I need to add on that. You need to be cognizant that the rights should be the same.
Okay, all right.
But they are not the same rights. And I want to stipulate, I'm a son of a cop, and when a policeman pulls a black person over, it's very different than when they pull a white person over. You've seen videos where they're cursing out the cop. You try that.
Oh, absolutely. Right? So but that doesn't have to do with the rights. That's the mentality of the officer and how it's practiced.
I mean, there's something that, my dad used to say, when a cop pulls you over, let your testosterone drop. All right, and that is the difference between a nigga who lives, and I use that word, and a nigga who gets away to walk away and live and talk about it versus a nigga who's dead. So I hate to say, when the police pull me over, the hands are up on the steering wheel. How you doing, officer? Whereas because you're black man, you all gotta recognize whether you got money in your pocket, whether you in school, whether you're going to work in a suit, or you're walking around the street like this. You are a young black male. The rules are different. They should be the same. But you don't know what time it is. The rules are different.
Let me conclude with this. There's an opinion that I read a long time ago. It's a Supreme Court opinion, which is the highest court in this land. And the justice who wrote the opinion, he said, there are no rights that a black man has in this country that a white man have to respect. This was said in 1930, but that's the mentality. You have no rights as a black man that a white man has to respect. So the law says we are equal, but we're not. We're not.
And that's the game. And then once you realize that's the part of the game,
exactly.
You can learn to play successfully within the game.
Could I piggyback on what these two guys first said? That I believe that we use excuses as blacks, as African American, whatever we want to call ourselves, to behave in a certain manner when we're around other folks, all right? Me coming from South America, Guyana, The first time that I've seen racism was in Texas, Levelland, Texas. But me being from South America, it has always been something different because the stereotypes that Caucasians hold on American blacks, you can't hold it on me. You know, I would quickly say, no, I'm not American black or whatever. I'm from South America. Let me teach you about South America and how we are, all right? But when I enter a train or I enter a building, I do go with that code of ethics that my parents raised me. Our family has been raising us. We need to stop making excuses. And when we get into the elevator or into the train and behave in a certain manner, you know, just to not disrespect your mother, because you're not only representing yourself when somebody see you, you're representing your parents and your community. But I also believe until we're totally educated, not only us as black people, we know what's going on with us, but a lot of Caucasian needs to, the entire race of Caucasian needs to educate themselves on who we are. And the only way they can know who we are is by us teaching us and stop sending those negative, this is paradise to me. Where I'm from, we have running water, we have to go to the streams and get running water. But a guy's living in Evansville with running water, and he's calling it the projects. That's luxury apartment buildings, you know? And I've never, to the young youths, no matter what you do, never hold stereotypes. Stereotypes are just stereotypes. It means the person that's stereotyping you is more ignorant than you. They need to be educated about what's going on, you know? But be careful, that goes back to my brother Will. His program is hands-on with the youths. There's a big gap in communication between the adults and the youths. We think the adults think they should approach the youth this way, and the youth feel they shouldn't be approaching us that way or whatever. Sometimes you gotta get hands-on, you know? And the only way that we can succeed is by us passing it on, passing it on, passing it on. These things have always been passed on, but I believe from my personal experience and my 36 years of being on this earth, in America, it will not stop. There will be another case. And we will be marching at that time, you know? And the reason why it will be that is because of the stereotypes that not our race have on ourselves, but other race have on us. You know, we need to be known as, you know, the people that contributed to society and still is contributing to society.
Welcome to Young Men in Vision, and today's guest is Ash Cash. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, brother. My name is Ash Cash. I am a financial literacy advocate, author, motivational speaker, business consultant, and I appreciate you guys having me here so we can talk about some money. We can talk about what's on your mind as young men of vision, and we can get our money right, mind right, money right.
All right. Anyone has first question?
I have a question, man. Let me jump. I have a question for y'all. $640 million. We saw the Mega Millions jackpot. $640 million. Just last week. Mm-hmm. If one of you guys won that money, what would you do with the money?
Alright, first thing I gotta say.
Let's talk. $640 million.
640 after taxes?
After taxes.
Oh man.
Let's say 500. No. Let's say 320 after taxes.
320.
You got $320 million.
Yes. First of all, I'm definitely spending in the middle, putting half away. That's definite.
Okay.
That's definite. And I don't know half of 320, but half of that, right? Mm-hmm. So basically, I definitely want to buy a car, but no expensive, like probably like an OG, probably like 2-3 Gs or whatever, just to get around. And then from there, I gotta invest in something. That's why I got an older brother, my manager, just to help me invest in something.
Okay.
So that's what
I would first I piece of family members, close family members.
Okay.
Mom, dad, sister, brother, Will. Not even a couple. Handpicked, like 2 friends, maybe. And then I'll pay for the rest of my school. All my school. I'll probably buy me like you said,
little whips, and you got to
from here to there. You know, lights and all that, and then I had to talk to somebody about investing too.
Okay.
I wouldn't just try to invest in anything.
Yeah, anything. That's why I need somebody to help.
Yeah, like have to talk to me, and I have to sound good, like
Okay.
Well,
what you got?
I would take the lump sum, as for these young brothers also. So I'll take my lump sum. I'll set aside a very minuscule amount just for my personal use.
Okay.
But as for the rest, it will go to investment, savings, bonds, and things in which that would flip the money to bring it back.
Yep. Okay. Last but not least, talk to me.
Come on, baby.
320.
Yeah, I would keep some of it, like set some of it aside.
Okay.
Invest some, give some to the family.
Okay. So this is the great man of vision, because I wanted somebody to tell me they're gonna pop bottles, get a Bugatti, and nobody's gonna do that. So really, that's my mission. That's what I've been, my mission, and those are great questions. I mean, great answers. Because that's the mission. The mission is to change the mindset of our young people. And I wrote a book called Mind Right, Money Right. And the reason I called it Mind Right, Money Right is because it's important to get your mindset together first. And then once you get your mind right, then you get your money right. Right? If you look at the statistics of people who win the lottery, they lose their money within 5 years. And the reason for that is because they have not trained themselves to know how to manage this new lump sum of money. So if you can't manage $10,000, then you're not going to be able to manage, $5 million, $10 million, whatever, So it's great that you guys mentioned putting money aside to save for the future, things of that nature, because that's what it's about. It's about building wealth. It's about understanding that if you have access to that type of money, that you need to be able to start saving for your future, paying yourself first, things of that nature. But it's not only, I don't want, those aren't only the habits that we take when we win a lump sum of money. We should start creating those habits now. We should start creating those habits as we get money. We want to start putting money aside. We want to start, paying ourselves first. And that concept just means that for every money that you make, you should at least be putting 10% aside, right? So that it could build, it could build, and you continue to save. And then also you have to, like one of you gentlemen mentioned about flipping money, right? Meaning that you want to invest it in something that's going to make your money work for you. Right, because especially in our community, I think that's one of the biggest things is that we rely too much on our physical labor, right? So if we want money, we always rely on, I'm a hustle, I'm a grind, I'm gonna go get this money. But what about if you have money and you're able to, invest it in real estate, where now, you paid that money for real estate, you got somebody renting, and they're paying you each month, and even while you sleep, you're making money. So that's really, my concept, my mission is to really, be out here, just teaching us, teaching people how to change their relationship with money and how to make money work for them.
Understood. Now, in the current state of the economy, would you suggest people still invest in savings and bonds?
It's a tough.
For young people, I should say.
Yeah, I think that it's important that no matter what your age is, that you should have at least 6 to 8 months of expenses in an account, right? So everyone should have, bank accounts, and you should have at least 6 to 8 months of expenses liquid in the account. And what liquid means is that you can take the money out anytime, right? So just in case there's an emergency. Bond, it's all relative as far as bonds, because you want to invest your money, but it's really what are your goals with your money? Meaning that as a young guy, would I say invest in bonds? Probably not. Only because bonds are going to give they're pretty secure, but they're going to give you a small percentage, and you have you have a long term, you have a lot more life left, so you can take more risks than somebody who's a little older, right? So I would say that as far as what to invest in, it really depends on what your risk tolerance is. And for someone who's young, I would say that you definitely want to start at an early age, because there's something that's called compound interest, which means that your interest can earn interest. So the sooner you start saving money, the sooner you start allowing compound interest to take effect, and that way you grow your money faster. But again, the different type of vehicles that you use are going to be determinant on what your risk factor is. How much risk can you tolerate, and again, that kind of is determined on your personal profile. And usually, a financial advisor will sit with you and ask you certain questions to figure out what your risk tolerance is. But I would say that absolutely, in this economy, it's the best time to get into things like real estate, to get into stuff like investments, because everything is cheap. That's the misconception that we have. We're like, oh, the stock market is down, so I'm not going to invest, or real estate is down, so I'm not going to buy a house. And then we wait till the prices are so high, and now we're like, oh, we see it happen, and we see that the stock market is doing good, so now I'm going to invest, but you're investing at a high point. Imagine if Coca-Cola is $1, and it's probably not $1, but let's say Coca-Cola is $1, and because of the economy is doing bad, you say, you know what, Coca-Cola has been around for years. They own all of these different drink companies, so I'm going to buy Coca-Cola at $1 because I know for sure it'll get back to 100. Why wait till it gets to 100 and you invest in it, and all right, it might go up 102, 103, but now it might go down to $1. So I think that definitely right now is a good time to get into investing and things of that nature.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Well, we heard that you spoke in your book.
Mm-hmm.
And are there any pointers or tips for us young people in that book?
Absolutely. I think that the most important tip I would say is that no matter what your background is, no matter where you come from, you can do anything that you want to do, right? And I think, a lot of times it sounds like cliche. Like people say, oh, put your mind to it, you can do anything. And that's why in my book, I specifically wanted to give you examples of people like, Sean Combs, people like Oprah Winfrey, people like Tyler Perry, people like, Warren Buffett and Bill Gates and Steve Jobs and, Ulysses Bridgman, who a lot of people don't even know, but he's a basketball player from the 70s who actually flipped his basketball money to a restaurant franchise. He owns 200 Wendy's and he's worth $200 million because he planned for the future. Or, people like Magic Johnson. So there's so many people out there that may have started out with nothing, but it was really their mindset and their determination to be successful that allowed them to create their wealth. So I think that one of the important things is just to understand that, have self-confidence, have a confidence in your ability, and know that whatever you want to do, anything that you want to do is possible. But it's not only about faith, though. Faith is the beginning point, but then you have to take action. You have to take action.
Economics, the American dream. Some black males weigh the options on a triple beam. Some work a 9 to 5 just to shuck it and job. Slaver for slave wages just to stay alive. Core economics, the American dream. Some black males weigh the options on a triple beam. Some work a 9 to 5 just to shuck it and job. Slaver for slave wages just to stay alive. Core economics, the American dream. Some black males weigh the options on a triple beam. Some work a 9 to 5 just to shuck it and job. Slaver for slave wages just to stay alive. The soul of a slave who's tired, wired with the knowledge and the history, singing the struggle of his people. Who the